The member from Chisago, Representative New Brindley.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. We just heard that, don't worry, we'll hear it soon. Well, let me tell you, Republicans hear that a lot. Don't worry, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. And we hear about that with almost every issue we bring up. Don't worry, we'll get there. This is an important conversation. Well, if it was so important, you'd be having the conversation. But as of yet, we're not hearing Social Security bills. And the majority leader stood at the beginning of this debate and told us, well, we just got the forecast. So it would have been irresponsible to bring this bill forward before now, but somehow it was not irresponsible to pass $1.966 billion of spending out of this chamber so far. This body, the majority party, has already spent almost $2 billion without a forecast. And so this nonsense excuse that somehow we couldn't possibly do a Social Security tax relief for our senior citizens by now is absurd. Frankly, it's bonkers.
Members, order in the chamber. Representative New Brindley.
Really important. This really does matter. But it is bonkers when we're being told, well, we couldn't possibly spend the money to take care of our senior citizens because we didn't have a forecast. We had no problem spending $2 billion on other things. And I will correct the record. You know, I spoke the night that we took up the school meals legislation. And I misspoke, and I redid the math, and actually my family, I'm going to get about a $2,000 annual benefit from the school meals program. Now, while I appreciate your concern and care for me and my children, I don't need it. I don't need that $2,000 that you chose to give my family. $2,000 that I don't need. But I guarantee you, I have talked to a heck of a lot of senior citizens in my district who could sure use that money in Social Security tax relief. And so while we're going to sit here in this chamber and fritter away $2 billion, don't you dare tell us that the reason we can't do Social Security tax relief is because, well, we just didn't have a forecast. We couldn't possibly spend the money. Nonsense. You've been spending money hand over fist. Now spend it on something that matters. Spend it on our senior citizens who need this tax relief. Spend it on our retirees who are leaving our state. We have a net outward migration of citizens. You just don't put it together. We've got a workforce shortage. We are a really low unemployment rate, a high labor force participation rate. We just don't have people. And it's because of policies like this that are driving them out of our state. They are driving retirees out of our state. But don't worry, I know you'll get to it. I know you'll get to it. We'll talk about it sometime. It's nonsense, folks. Like, we have not had an issue come before this chamber with the same level of urgency as Social Security tax relief for our seniors. Inflation is still out of control. Property taxes are out of control. We are driving senior citizens out of this state. I implore you, follow your own rules. You got no problem spending money, so please spare me the excuses. You got no problem spending money. Let's spend it where it counts. Let's spend it on our senior citizens. Let's vote to suspend the rules and take up the Social Security tax relief bill.